Coming up tonight at 6, I'm tracking 2 to 5 inches of snow overnight in southern Wisconsin. Just a couple moments, I'm going to let you know who stands the best chance for the highest amounts. And I'm also tracking wind chills as cold as minus 40.
Plus, with these bitterly cold temperatures here to stay, we take a look at the impact it'll have on your heating bill this year. And later, regulating data centers in Wisconsin, the newly proposed legislation, and why some lawmakers disagree with it. We welcome you to News 3 Now at 6. And good evening. Thanks for watching. I'm Eric Franke. Weather leads us off tonight. We could be in for another round of snow as frigid temperatures continue to stick around southern Wisconsin. Could get even colder as the week progresses. And for more, let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington. Alex?
Right now, let's track that snow to start off. As you were just mentioning, Eric, overnight tonight, another set of alert day conditions lasting through the overnight period into the very early part of Wednesday for widespread snow across southern Wisconsin. We can track that right now on radar 3000. That snow breaking out west of the Mississippi River, even a little bit of a heavier band stretching from Waterloo to north of Des Moines, just along Highway 35. And that's going to quickly progress off towards the east as we move through the evening hours. 7, 8 o'clock in far southwest Wisconsin, Madison right around 9 o'clock. And we're going to be keeping an eye on where a locally moderate to heavy band of snow sets up. And that's where the higher totals are going to line up in southern Wisconsin. Overall, 2 to 5 inches are expected, with lesser amounts to the north and higher amounts to the south. But this is just part of several alert days that we have ahead. The snow tonight, we're tracking the possibility of adding alert day conditions for Wednesday evening if we get snow squalls that dump a quick inch of snow with strong winds during that evening commute. And then all eyes turn into not just Thursday night, but days of wind chills, possibly as cold as minus 40. And when I come back in a little bit, I'm going to show you that there could be some areas in southern Wisconsin, Eric, that could have wind chills colder than minus 40 by the time we wake up Friday morning.
All right, Alex, thank you. As we enter this cold stretch, many in southern Wisconsin will be looking to heat their homes, of course. News 3 Now's Jalen Banks brings us why it will be more expensive than years past. Jalen?
Southern Wisconsin is seeing some of the coldest temperatures it'll see all year. I caught up with one organization on why many residents are seeing higher rates from their utility companies.
The cost of energy is going up for many across the country. According to the National Energy Assistance Directors Association, the average household will pay just under $1,000 to heat their homes this winter, a 9.2% increase from last winter. Locally, utility companies Alliant Energy and Madison Gas and Electric raised rates for both natural gas and electricity as of January 1. This comes at a time expected wind chills later in the week may approach minus 40, and the First Warn Weather Team has not forecasted wind chills this cold since January of 2019. And speaking with the Citizens Utility Board of Wisconsin, this doesn't spell well for consumers.
The price of natural gas, because natural gas is more expensive than it was a year ago, and also because of just extra demand from the fact that it's so cold. The prices were going to go up with normal weather in the Midwest, but if you factor on much colder weather instead of normal weather, ouch! That's why it hurts so much. Their eyebrows are going way up, or their jaws are dropping when they're seeing their bills.
Content says some should anticipate paying $100 more this heating season.
There are several energy assistance programs and energy saving tips. You can find those on our website. For now, reporting in the newsroom, Jalen Banks, News 3 Now.
And you can track the forecast for yourself with our First Warn Weather app. Hourly temperatures, road conditions, radar, it's all there. You can download it for free in your phone's app store. Just search WISC Weather. Right now, a live look at the DeForest Village Board meeting, where the Village Board is discussing whether to add fluoride back into its water system, an additive that was voted to be removed back in February of last year. Our Maren Rosen tuning into that meeting. She'll be back tonight at 10 to share the outcome and implications of a potential vote there. Meanwhile, the debate over artificial intelligence data centers continues at the state capitol. Lawmakers are moving forward with a Republican-introduced bill to regulate the centers. Our political reporter Ellie LaLiberte shows us why lawmakers disagree.
Assembly Republicans and Democrats agree on one thing. AI data centers need to be regulated. They just disagree on how to do it.
You know, at night when we look across that field right now, we hear frogs and there's no light.
Sean Haney has lived in his home in DeForest for 38 years. But soon, this could be the view out his front window.
It's going to change everything in that whole area.
Before an AI data center goes up across from his house, he'd like to see some regulation from the state.
Some clear guidelines on how much power can be used, where it's going to come from, how it's going to address water usage.
Both parties in the assembly have introduced legislation this session. The Democrat bill would create labor, renewable energy, and rate requirements.
The number one goal of the bill is to protect the public.
But Tuesday, the assembly passed the Republican-introduced bill.
My bill was deliberately simple. It was simple and focused on the core issues we hear everywhere.
It includes a requirement that water used by a data center for cooling must be a contained, closed-looped system to recycle it. The bill would also require the Public Service Commission to ensure other customers won't see the cost of the electric infrastructure to build or run data centers on their utility bills. However, during testimony last week, the PSC said parts of the Republican legislation would be, quote, challenging to implement.
Our bill could actually be implemented. The Republican bill can't. It's very strange if you're trying to pass legislation saying that it's to control rates, that you wouldn't listen to the people who understand the issue.
But the author of the bill says it's the PSC's job to figure out how this legislation could be implemented.
If the PSC is unable to actually measure power and consumption and sources, we got bigger concerns, I think, as we go forward. So it's certainly my belief. I'm not here to prescribe to the PSC how they would do this. It's more the fact that we need to make sure it's done so that Wisconsin ratepayers are absolutely protected.
But is it enough for Sean?
A couple of bills pending, but I don't think they have enough teeth in them yet.
This legislation will need to head to the Senate for approval before it could head to the governor's desk. However, a spokesperson for Governor Evers tells me he's unlikely to support this bill. Reporting at the state capitol, Ellie La Liberté, News 3 Now.
Ellie, thank you. A Dane County judge is dismissing a lawsuit filed by a beagle breeder against an advocacy group accusing it of abusing animals. Ridgeland Farms accuses Dane for Dogs, its founders, and a former Ridgeland employee of interfering with the breeder's contractual relationships and harming its business. In an order dismissing Ridgeland's suit, Judge Jacob Frost held that Dane for Dogs' actions were protected free speech, citing decisions by the U.S. Supreme Court. Additionally, Judge Frost wrote that Ridgeland failed to prove any of its claims. Judge Frost dismissed Ridgeland's lawsuit with prejudice, meaning the breeder cannot file the same claim again. A former dean at Sun Prairie West High School pleads guilty to a federal charge today. Robert Gilkey-Messiger admitting to having inappropriate conversations with a female student on social media. Our Tanisha Shaw covering the latest in Tanisha. How much time could he face here?
Hi, Eric. Robert Gilkey-Messiger could face 15 to 30 years behind bars. This federal charge is just one of the charges he is facing in this child sex crimes case. Sun Prairie police arrested the former dean of students in July 2025 on the state level. He is facing 15 separate charges, 13 counts of having sexual materials of a minor and 2 counts of sexual exploitation of a minor. He pleaded not guilty to all of those charges back in September 2025. A criminal complaint says that Gilkey-Messiger had a sexual inappropriate relationships with students and had nude photos of at least one female student at West. I asked a law professor from UW, what's next for the suspect?
So the sentencing process is still down the road, actually. So the document filed in court was the plea agreement between the government and the defendant and potentially binding the judge. There still needs to be a change of plea hearing. Federal courts are required to directly speak with the defendant to ensure that their guilty plea is knowing.
An internal investigation into Sun Prairie Area School District, where an attorney stated they found critical issues. Now, next for Gilkey-Messiger, he will have a formal plea hearing in court, and a sentencing date has not been confirmed yet.
All right, Tanisha, thank you. Still ahead at 6, the Dane County Humane Society gets a big gift, plus an urgent plea from the single largest blood supplier in the United States. What's led to low blood supply levels and what you can do to help.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
Extreme weather, canceled blood drives, and the highest respiratory illness levels in more than 25 years have delivered a devastating blow to our nation's blood supply. The American Red Cross says the organization's blood inventory across the U.S. has come down by about 35% over just the past month alone. That blood goes to patients during emergencies, surgeries, even during childbirth. It's also given to people with blood disorders like sickle cell disease and to those who are being treated for cancer.
If you're feeling well, if it's safe for you to travel in your weather, we really rely on you on coming in, donating blood, and helping support patients in need.
Platelet donations as well as all blood types are needed, but especially type O and A and B negative blood types. Donors can search by zip code for a nearby blood drive at redcrossblood.org. And Dane County Humane Society says that Christmas came a little later this year after a large pet food donation. For over 20 years, Mounds Pet Food Warehouse has partnered with the shelter on its Humane Holidays drive, bringing in food, treats, toys, and supplies. This year, that added up to 10 pallets of donations for dogs, cats, and other small pets at the Humane Society.
So each customer at the register will get asked, would you like to make a donation? And for me, this was my first winter at Humane Holidays with Mounds, and I was amazed at the number of donations that people were willing to give. We had people that were giving full packs of dog food in multiple bags off of the shelves and out of their carts. It was amazing to get this level of response this year.
And those donations are now being sorted by department and put straight to use. Still ahead, how you can score tickets to this year's Big Ten men's basketball tournament down in Chicago, plus the AFC title game on CBS this weekend. Our Packers writer Jason Wilde breaks down what to watch for and some Wisconsin connections in this weekend's matchups. And how cold are those wind chills going to get this week? Alex returns his complete forecast when we return.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
That's a live look at the Beltline near Monona Drive at this hour. Right now, the First Warn Weather Team tracking the chance for snow squalls that could impact any driving you do tonight, maybe tomorrow morning's commute as well. For when we could see these squalls, let's check back in with Alex, his complete forecast.
Eric, and even tomorrow evening as well, we could see another burst of snow. We were talking earlier about the burst of snow expected tonight. This is tomorrow afternoon and evening as yet one more Clipper-like system moves through southern Wisconsin, bringing us perhaps a quick hitting inch of heavy snow and gusty winds. We'll be keeping a close eye on this time frame from, let's say, 3 o'clock Wednesday afternoon through about 7 o'clock for the potential for snow squalls and another quick hitting inch of snow. Our snow tonight, we've been talking about that for days. This will go through the overnight hours through about 6 a.m. on Wednesday, and we're eyeing that snow up right now off to the west in northern and northeast Iowa. That's going to quickly move and rapidly develop as it moves to the east, reaching Madison and areas off to the south and west by the time we head towards 8, 9 o'clock this evening. And just where that heaviest band sets up, I'm thinking the Wisconsin River Valley, Madison, I-94 areas to the south, likely standing the best chance of seeing the heaviest snow out of tonight's Clipper-like system. And then that's out of here by the time we get to about 6 o'clock on Wednesday morning. Between now going into Wednesday night, looking at widespread 2 to 5 inches of snow across all of southern Wisconsin, and the higher amounts, the 4 or 5 inches, likely eyeing up areas near the Wisconsin-Illinois border with lesser amounts to the north. Dells, areas up towards Juneau, Adams, Marquette, and Green Lake counties. You might only see a trace to an inch out of the snow as we go from tonight going on into the Wednesday time frame. So let's repeat here. That's a lot of information. 2 to 5 inches of snow expected tonight, eyeing up the potential for snow squalls Wednesday evening during the commute, and that would be impactful. Even if we get 1 inch that comes down in an hour time frame, that's going to impact that Wednesday evening commute. And then the 40 below wind chills that we've been talking about here for quite some time. Last night was first showing you we could have 40 below zero wind chills from Thursday night going into Friday night, going into Saturday, going on into Sunday. This is what we're up against here. Even colder than what I was showing last night. A lot of minus 42 wind chills at 8 o'clock Friday morning. But look off to the west here to Viroqua, approaching minus 50. That's a possibility here. So this is dangerous cold that we have not seen since January of 2019. Modifying just a little bit, still near 40 below zero wind chills Saturday morning and Sunday morning, still looking at wind chills approaching 20 to 25 below zero. So the dangerous cold lasts all weekend long, as early entering the picture as Thursday night. That's why you saw that extreme cold watch pop up on the First Warn Weather app. And with wind chills expected at minus 40, we will likely see this turn into an extreme cold warning as we get a little bit closer to this event. Even after the extreme cold moves into the area Thursday night, lasting through the weekend, we stay very cold all the way through the 10-day period, with highs in the teens by day, single digits right around zero by night. Normal high temperature for this time of year, 27 degrees. Nothing like that in the next 10 days, and we got to prepare for the dangerous cold as we head towards the end of the week. Eric?
Alex, thank you. The road to the Super Bowl comes down to this weekend on CBS with the AFC Championship game. That's between New England and Denver. News 3 Now senior Packers writer Jason Wilde has a preview of this weekend's matchup.
I get it, Packers fans. You'd much rather have your team playing for a trip to the Super Bowl this weekend instead of the news that we've been reporting on channel3000.com about Matt LaFleur's contract extension, Jeff Hafley, the defensive coordinator, leaving to become the head coach of the Miami Dolphins. But fear not. The Final Four of the NFL as they get ready for Super Bowl 60 is set. And while you're disappointed that the Packers aren't playing because they lost to the arch-rival Chicago Bears in the first round of the NFC playoffs, we are here to give you 4 people, maybe 5, that you can root for from the NFL's Final Four. Let's start in the NFC with the Seattle Seahawks. They're playing at home against the Los Angeles Rams. And the GM of the Seahawks, former Packers executive John Schneider, a Green Bay area native who has been their GM since 2010. On the other side of the field, Davante Adams, arguably the greatest or one of the greatest wide receivers in Packers history. And by the way, he had a huge catch to beat the Bears in the last round. Then, on the AFC side of the bracket, there is the New England Patriots, whose general manager is Elliott Wolf. He comes from Packers royalty. His dad renewed the Packers brand and led them to a Super Bowl 31 title, rebuilding the franchise in the 90s. That's Pro Football Hall of Famer Ron Wolf. And then finally, the Denver Broncos, who are the #1 seed in the AFC. Not only do they have the pride of UW-Whitewater, offensive lineman Quinn Miners, but they also have former Badger Jim Leonard, who just might be a quality candidate for Matt LaFleur as he looks for a new defensive coordinator. So there you go. I know you wish the Packers were playing, but that's the best I can do. And you know the road to the Super Bowl comes down to this weekend, and you can watch the AFC Championship between the Patriots and the Broncos with Quinn Miners and with Jim Leonard right here on CBS. The winner goes to Super Bowl 60. Kickoff is set on Sunday for 2 p.m. right here on CBS. In Green Bay, Jason Wilde, channel3000.com.
All right, Jason, thank you. College basketball fans may now have a shot to see the Big Ten men's basketball tournament in person. Right now, UW Athletics and Cousin Subs giving away 2 free tournament tickets and a 3-night stay in the Windy City. The tournament set for March 10th through the 15th at the United Center. A Cousin Subs, a university bookstore gift certificate will also be given out as well. You can find out more information. We have the story linked at channel3000.com. And Andrew is here with a look at sports. We're thinking about basketball postseason already.
Exactly. And a few weeks ago, it seemed like Wisconsin men's basketball might not even be in the March Madness situation, but a lot has changed since. We'll talk with Braden Carrington, who's had back-to-back huge games, next on News 3 Now.
And now, News 3 Now Sports, brought to you by TDS Telecom.
Braden Carrington's best 2 games this season have also been the Badgers' biggest 2 wins. He converted at the free throw line to seal Bucky's win at second-ranked Michigan. Oh, and by the way, then the former Gopher and Minnesota native hit 7 threes in Bucky's thriller in the Twin Cities. This week's guest on the Wisconsin Huddle, you could say, is on a heater. What was that 2-game stretch like for you, that Michigan and Minnesota stretch? You mentioned 2 of the best games of your life. What was that like for you, especially going back into Williams?
I mean, the Michigan game, it's a surreal moment. You know, that's the best team I maybe played. I mean, Purdue, I played a couple of good Purdue teams, but I mean, you go into Michigan, you're playing the #2 team in the country, and I feel like that was kind of more of a coming out party for me too as well, just confidence-wise. Obviously, that's the most I played all season, so I mean, it was great. And then obviously, having that confidence leading into Minnesota was very much needed because, as I say, like, I mean, I was so nervous for that game. But I mean, it's an amazing feeling to get that win, and then those 2 wins I feel like are pretty big wins because Minnesota's obviously they're doing pretty good too, and obviously beating Michigan boosts you up a lot. I mean, that's one of the best teams in the country, so it's always good to beat them.
And on the women's side, Wisconsin women's basketball got off to their best Big Ten start in more than a decade, but followed it up with a trio of tough losses. Destiny Howell, though, didn't let that continue. The transfer senior scored 39 points on Sunday to beat a very good Oregon team in double overtime, while connecting on a program record 10 triples to put Bucky back on track, courtesy of an out-of-body experience.
Kind of like I'm not even there fully. Like I'm in a whole different space. I'm not really thinking. I'm just moving. I'm moving intentional with like my subconscious, like just out there hooping. And I really missed that feeling. And not even just because I was scoring so many points, but I think that we had a really, really important day in our locker room today, and it carried out onto the floor.
The Badgers are on the up and up, both on the men's and women's side.
They've been hot. The weather's been cold.
The weather's been cold and getting even colder, too. And snow before that. Future Trek has that snow moving into the area. By the time we get to our 10 o'clock newscast, we'll show Radar 3000 very likely having snow across southern Wisconsin, and then more at 10 on the dangerous cold that's expected Thursday night, lasting through the weekend.
It's going to be something else. Alex, thank you. Thanks for joining us at 6 tonight, folks. Entertainment Tonight is next. Our next newscast coming up tonight at 10. You can always find us streaming 24/7 at Channel 3000+.